Good evening and welcome to Ignite News on 6 at 6. It's Monday, July 14th, 2025. I'm Rihanna Nakram. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. Today is nomination day and 7 political parties have submitted lists of candidates in their bid to be included on the 2025 ballot for general and regional elections. The 2025 electoral race is off to a competitive start, with nomination day turning into a vibrant show of party pride and street celebration. The PVC has launched its campaign, and Vice President Jagdeo urges supporters to show up and vote, reminding them that the internet doesn't vote, people do. And Guyana Amazon Warriors clinched a comprehensive 57-run win against Dubai Capitals last evening. Today marks a major milestone in Guyana's democratic calendar, Nomination Day, the day when political parties officially submit their list of candidates for the upcoming general and regional elections set for September 1st. The Ghana Elections Commission has confirmed that 21 political parties are eligible to submit their list, but qualifying for the national ballot is no easy feat. From gender balance to regional coverage, the process is governed by strict rules designed to ensure fairness and representation. Ignite News senior reporter Utamu Bell was at the Yumanayana today, where the submission process unfolded. She filed this report.
Thank you, Rihanna. I'm here at the Yumanayana, where the political parties are getting ready to submit their official list of candidates to the Guyana Elections Commission. The atmosphere out here has been very intense. It's also filled with lots of excitement. The political parties, they're here, they're chanting slogans, they're excited to submit their list. Prior to heading into the Yumanayana to submit their official list, we spoke to government-nominated GCOM Commissioner Seth Gunraj. Let's hear what he had to say.
Well, as with every other aspect of the elections, this is one of the processes that is defined by law. That is to say, it's a statutory process. All of the requirements, etc., of the lists are set out in law. Importantly as well, perhaps the most important aspect of today's proceedings is for the Chief Elections Officer to receive lists from parties who intend to contest the elections. Those lists, like I said a moment ago, have to satisfy certain statutory requirements. As a consequence, after the receipt of the lists, those lists have to be scrutinized, encoded to ensure that they satisfy those requirements. But another very important aspect of today's process, which happens almost contemporaneously with today's activity after the lists are received, and while they go to get that scrutiny and to be encoded into our systems, the next part that has to happen is that by law, those lists have to be posted publicly outside of the office of the Chief Elections Officer.
Well, one of the things about our list you will see is that I spoke about continuity in our list. You will see that there's a deliberate attempt here by the People's Progressive Party Civic, not only about uniting and everything that the leader of the list spoke about, but more importantly, this is about preparing the next generation of leaders. This is about giving the next generation of leaders exposure, experience, because we believe in Guyana. We believe in Guyana 30, 40 years from now. And the only way we can deliver that Guyana to successive generation is if we prepare leaders, if we prepare our young people, if we give them a chance. And that is what you see we're doing on this list.
We have what I would call a well-balanced list. A well-balanced list. It has some grassroots people as well, because we believe there is need to be in touch with the average person. You have the professional persons, you have political experience, you have youth. And it is our sincere hope that this commixation of people will allow us to run the country and run it effectively.
We presented a list for all the regions in all the categories. We've identified the head of the list, the presidential candidate.
And they can zoom in and zoom out, they don't need to put it down.
A couple of things. You just have to look at the age that went in. And this is perhaps the broadest of the representatives that you can get. 50% of our cabinet, if we are lucky enough to be elected, will be women. Almost 50% of our candidates on the list are female. And they're also ethnically diverse.
Reporting from outside Yumanayana, I'm Utamu Bell for Ignite News.
That was Utamu Bell reporting from the Umanayana, where political hopefuls took their first official step toward the September 1st elections. While the submission of candidate lists was a formal affair inside Umanayana, outside told a very different story, a vibrant, high-energy show of political pride and pageantry. Supporters turned out in full force, transforming nomination day into a carnival-like parade, complete with music, banners, and bold declarations of loyalty. In some cases, the enthusiasm went so far that candidates were literally carried to the door by their cheering backers. Our cameras were there to capture the spectacle. Here's Ignite News reporter Kaylee Carter on the color and noise that surrounded today's nominations.
Thank you, Rihanna. I'm standing outside of the Umanayana where nomination day activities are officially underway. This is a pivotal point in the electoral calendar where aspiring candidates and their supporters gather in a show of unity and purpose as political parties submit their official list of contestants to the upcoming elections. With an atmosphere charged and anticipation high, today marks the formal start of the journey to the ballot box. As lists are now submitted and today's proceedings come to a close, the focus now shifts to the campaign trail. For candidates, today was about qualification, but from here on out, it's all about connection, message, and momentum. Reporting from the Umanayana, I'm Kaylee Carter for Ignite News. Back to you, Rihanna.
Thanks, Kaylee. With a symbolic start of campaigning now underway, all eyes turn to how these parties will deliver their message, win support, and mobilize voters across Guyana. When we return, the governing PPC hits the ground running with a major campaign launch in Georgetown.
The ExxonMobil Guyana Global Super League is back and it's bigger than ever. Defending champions, Rangpur Riders return to defend their crown. But the Warriors, the proud hosts, are ready to battle on home soil. The best from Australia, New Zealand, and the UAE join the fight for global glory. The ultimate test, the ultimate prize. It's the clash of the T20 champions. Get your tickets now at Warriors Box Office or GSLT20.com.
Welcome back. The People's Progressive Party Civic has officially launched its 2025 campaign, with leaders rallying supporters and setting the tone for a high-stakes election season. Vice President Dr. Bharat Jagdeo has called on supporters of the People's Progressive Party Civic, PPC, to ensure a strong voter turnout and deliver a resounding victory at the September 1st polls. Addressing a massive rally at Kitty Market Square for the official campaign launch, Dr. Jagdeo highlighted the government's key achievements since taking office in 2020, including job creation, improved access to education, and tax relief.
We have kept our country safe from COVID. We have transformed the lives of many people. We have put over 60,000 people back to work. We now have 40,000 nearly studying at a tertiary level. We have trained another 42,000 people, 50,000 house lots. We have made university free. We have kept our promise to the children by returning their grant. We have double old age pension. We have returned the joint services bonus. We remove all the 200 plus taxes, 50 billion worth of them. We fulfill our promise of no new taxes in the 5 years. We have restarted the development of the Amerindian communities. We rehired sugar workers. We assisted the rice farmers. The miners too got their taxes reduced. The public servants saw an increase of over $120 billion per year in wages and salaries. Women were helped. Children were helped. Every group of Guyanese. And that's why you must be so proud that your party delivered.
Jagdeo warned against complacency, stressing that a landslide victory is only possible if the work is done between now and Election Day. He reminded supporters that the internet doesn't vote, people do. President Dr. Irfan Ali also addressed the crowd, declaring that the PPC is ready to race to victory and highlighting major accomplishments and future plans. He spoke of more than 50,000 house lots allocated, thousands of jobs created through revived industries like sugar, bauxite, and forestry, and the rehiring of community support officers in Amerindian villages. These moves, he said, have restored dignity and stability to families.
The engine is revving, and the army are ready to race to victory.
And this is not a Lamborghini engine. This is a tried and tested engine. The PPP Civic is the engine of development, the engine of growth, the engine of progress, the engine of prosperity, the engine of unity. We are not the engine of showboating. We are not the engine of celebrity practicing. We are the engine of hard, sustainable, selfless work every day of our life. We are not just a party of power. We are a party of promise and performance. Every single promise we made to you, we have kept. Every single commitment we made to you, we have fulfilled. And the good book teaches us that love is enduring, love is kind, love is faithful, love is relentless, and that is what the PPP has given you, enduring, relentless, faithful love.
Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips also spoke about the party's achievements in office during the past 5 years and urged supporters to be united and vote solidly for the PPC come September 1st.
When you leave here, your first task tomorrow is to start checking the list, the voters list in your communities. Ensure your name is on the list. Ensure all the adults in your homes are on the list. Ensure your neighbors and your friends in your community name on the list. Because we want a stronger representation in the House of Assembly, and we can only do that with your vote. So check the list, ensure your name is on the list. And come the 4th of September, bright and early, you go out and put your X where? Next to the cup.
Meanwhile, President Ali credited the PBC's handling of Guyana's oil sector for the country's rapid development, describing the upcoming election as a choice between a government that builds and one that takes away. And while the party revs up its campaign on the national stage, major players in the business sector are also weighing in. Imam Bacchus & Sons, one of Region 2's most respected businesses, has formally announced its support for President Dr. Irfan Ali and the People's Progressive Party as they seek a second term. Director and Secretary Samad Bash, who once backed the APNU AFC coalition ahead of the 2015 elections and served as regional councillor under the coalition, now says he's seen real progress under the current administration.
Recently, what has been happening cannot escape your sight, your vision, and your senses. You see the growth, you see the taking off of a new country. And that is why today I am convinced that the man to lead this country is none other than the Honorable President Irfan Ali. And I am endorsing him fully 100%. This is not the time to gamble with our future. We are on the cusp of greatness, and we can't put somebody without experience and people who are questionable to run this government. Thank you.
Bash said he distanced himself from the coalition government after his refusal to accept the results of the 2020 regional and general elections, which showed that it lost. Imam Bacchus & Son has been serving Region 2 for over 75 years and has grown from a small team of 5 employees to a workforce of over 500. Bash credited the recent success of the business to the stable political climate and economic direction provided by the PPP administration. Adil Bash, Chief Executive Officer and former President of the Essequibo Chamber of Commerce and Industry, also endorsed President Ali's re-election bid.
The People's Progressive Party has provided an extremely robust framework in which economic growth can take place. They are the only party capable of doing so and of leading Guyana into the future with sustained economic growth. And that's why I'll be voting for them.
He praised the government's support across all sectors, especially transportation, highlighting improved ferry services that have helped the company expand and better serve the Essequibo coast. The company also exports to international markets and continues to grow. Director of Education and Outreach Imam Bash also voiced his support, citing lower crime rates, greater government outreach, and open communications as key reasons behind their endorsement of the PBP. The PBC is not the only party benefiting from former coalition members shifting alliances. Former PNCR General Secretary Don Hastings-Williams has shown her support behind the newly formed We Invest in Nationhood WIN party, led by businessman Azzuddin Mohammed. In a public statement, Hastings-Williams said, WIN offers a competitive, strong, and fully equipped vision to lead Guyana, expressing concern over what she called the country's troubling development path. She accused past governments of being inept and failing to meet the basic needs of citizens, including access to housing, water, and justice. A former Minister of Public Affairs and a prominent indigenous leader, Hastings-Williams cited World Bank data showing that nearly half of Ghana's population lived in poverty as of 2019. She described WIN's manifesto as truly inspiring, praising its focus on wealth equality and stronger poverty reduction efforts. She also commended Mohammed's leadership for promoting a united national voice. The WIN Party is a recently launched youth-led political movement, positioning itself as an alternative ahead of December 1st general and regional elections. When we come back, a golden opportunity is coming for Region 7 residents, and later, the Renegades light up the court to claim 3-on-3 basketball glory. All that and more right after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
You're watching Ignite News on 6 at 6. Thanks for staying with us. We begin this segment with a golden opportunity for Region 7 residents as the GGMC gears up for a mining block lottery. There's a golden opportunity coming to Region 7. The Ghana Geology and Mines Commission, GGMC, will hold a lottery for medium-scale mining blocks in the Mazaruni and Kayuni districts on July 19th at the Bartica Mine Station. The event is open only to Region 7 residents who must prove residency with a letter from a Tushao, Neighborhood Democratic Council Regional Office, or Mayor. To enter, applicants must pick up a registration form from GGMC's Georgetown office or in Bartica and pay a $10,000 non-refundable fee. Anyone holding more than one medium-scale claim or any large-scale license are not qualified to enter the lottery. Winners can apply for the mining block immediately after the draw, but they'll need over $200,000 on hand to cover fees and bonds. ID, TIN, and proof of address are also required. Those who don't apply at the event have until August 29th, or they'll lose their chance to one of the 10 backup winners who will be drawn. From mining gold to striking gold on the court, it was a night of fast breaks and fierce shots as the Renegades clinched a title in the 2025 Republic Bank 3-on-3 basketball tournament. In front of an electric crowd at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall, the Georgetown-based team secured a 21-13 win against the Linden Shooters in a high-octane final to become the first ever champions of the Edge Sports Series. It was a thrilling end to a flawless campaign as early in the day, the Renegades stormed past the Mambas in the quarters, outlasted Kokwani Unstoppables in the semis, and then held their nerve with clutch defense and crisp shooting to seal the win. In cricket, Imran Tahir's 4-wicket haul outshone Kaleem Sana's efforts as Ghana Amazon Warriors clinched a comprehensive 57-run win against Dubai Capitals last evening. Batting first, the Warriors managed to recover from a shaky start at 27 for 3. The innings was anchored by Moeen Ali, who scored 40 off 38 deliveries, while Sherfin Rutherford added a valuable 33. Romario Shepherd chipped in late with a brisk 15 as Ghana posted 138 for 7. For the Capitals, Kaleem San impressed with 4 for 31, striking 3 times in the death overs. But the chase never got going. Capitals were bowled out for just 81 in under 16 overs. Romario Shepherd and Dwayne Pretorius kept the pressure on early before Tahir sealed the deal with 4 for 12, ripping through the middle and lower order. Only Siddiqui Atal and Niroshan Dekwala offered brief resistance with a quick 27-run stand, but once they fell, the collapse was swift. With this win, Amazon Warriors moved to the top of the table, making a strong statement at home. Now for a football final that stunned the world. I can't believe what I'm seeing. That was the reaction of pundits and fans alike, as Chelsea stunned Paris Saint-Germain 3-0 to win the Club World Cup in New Jersey. Midfielder Cole Palmer scored twice and set up a third for João Pedro before halftime, leaving the tournament favorites PSG in disbelief after breezing past Bayern and Real Madrid in earlier rounds. Chelsea under manager Enzo Maresca executed a high-press, high-intensity strategy that overwhelmed the League One champions. Former England midfielder Andros Townsend called it a tactical masterclass. The Blues targeted PSG's left flank, with Palmer and Pedro exploiting the space behind fullback Nuno Mendes. The result? Chelsea are now officially world champions and will wear the badge to prove it until 2029. With the youngest squad in the competition and key players like Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez shining, Chelsea may just be turning a corner under Todd Bowley's billion-pound rebuild. It's their second trophy this year after the Conference League, and confidence at Stamford Bridge is soaring. Still ahead, a drug shortage threatens lives in Trinidad. President Trump throws a tariff curveball at Europe and Mexico, and a former Nigerian head of state has died. Welcome back. In Trinidad, a shortage of a life-saving transplant drug is pushing some patients into crisis. Trinidadian media is reporting that a severe shortage of the critical anti-rejection drug, tacrolimus, is putting organ transplant patients at serious risk. The Kidney Recipient Support Group of Trinidad and Tobago says some patients are already relapsing into renal failure, while others are forced to buy the life-saving drug on the black market at exorbitant prices. In a letter dated June 30th, the group urged Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo to act urgently, warning that the crisis threatens to undo years of progress in transplant care. Tacrolimus is vital in preventing organ rejection. Without it, the immune system attacks the transplanted organ, leading to life-threatening complications. The group says the human and financial toll is mounting, with cases of hospitalization and even failed transplants already being reported. They're calling on the ministry to stabilize supply, ensure affordability, and set up a dedicated task force to manage critical transplant drug access. In response, Minister Bodo told the media that a shipment has arrived in the country and the drug should be available to patients by tomorrow. In international news, U.S. President Donald Trump continues to escalate trade tensions by threatening trade partners with steep tariffs. Most recently, he has threatened to impose 30% tariffs on imports from Mexico and the European Union starting August 1st. The move comes after weeks of failed trade talks and was announced Saturday in letters posted to Trump's Truth Social page. Mexico and the EU swiftly condemned the tariffs as unfair and disruptive, but both say they're still open to negotiating a broader deal before the deadline. Mexican President Claudia Sheinberg urged calm, stressing that sovereignty remains non-negotiable. Meanwhile, EU leaders warned the tariffs could damage essential transatlantic supply chains. Trump's latest threat also includes 20 to 50% tariffs notices to over 20 countries, including Canada, Japan, and Brazil. Though Trump has backed off similar threats just over 2 months ago, Analysts warn this run could trigger retaliatory tariffs and strain global markets. Trump says he's acting to protect American industry and address issues like fentanyl trafficking. But critics say the move risks isolating key allies and igniting a new wave of economic uncertainty. Finally, tonight, Nigeria mourns the passing of one of its most consequential leaders. Former President Muhammadu Buhari has died. The 82-year-old passed away yesterday at a clinic in London. His body will be flown back to Nigeria and buried tomorrow in his hometown of Dara, Katsina State, according to Governor Diko Rada. Buhari, a former military ruler, made history in 2015 as the first Nigerian to unseat an incumbent president through the ballot box. He served 2 terms and stepped down in 2023. Known for his tough stance on corruption and his austere lifestyle, Buhari was revered in Nigeria's north, where he was seen as a moral compass. Tributes have poured in from across the world, including from Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who praised Buhari's warmth and commitment to bilateral ties. But not all remember him fondly. Critics called him aloof and absent, pointing to long medical stays in London and what they viewed as hands-off approach to governance. Still, even Ibrahim Babangida, who once overthrew Buhari in a 1985 coup, called him sincere and patriotic. Funeral arrangements are underway. Buhari will be laid to rest in accordance with Islamic rites. And that's all for this edition of Ignite News on 6 at 6. For more stories, visit ignitenews.com or follow us on social media. Thanks for watching. I'm Rihanna Nekram. See you tomorrow for more Ignite News.